From social media bans to teenagers getting death threats, here's what happens when liberals get triggered. Before we begin, be sure to subscribe to They Will Kill You. Hit the like button and request any topics you'd like to learn about in the comments section below. Number 7. Paul Joseph Watson. In April 2019, English YouTuber Paul Joseph Watson was permanently banned from Facebook and its Instagram services, without being given a proper reason. Others such as Milo Yiannopoulos and Louis Farrakhan were also permanently banned from the social media site around the same time. Watson holds certain views which have been described as anti-immigration and anti-Islam. Even though he embraced the term alt-right in the past, Watson in recent years has described himself as being part of the new right. The YouTuber claims the ban happened because of his contrarian views, as he hadn't broken any of the site's rules. Facebook simply referred to him and the other conservatives who'd been banned as dangerous. Official They Will Kill You merchandise is now available at theywillkillyou.com. Some of it is to die for. Number 6. Carpe Donktum. Carpe Donktum has built a significant following online as a pro-Trump meme maker. Aside from getting a few nods from the president himself, Carpe Donktum has also received some mainstream media attention. In that capacity, being misrepresented by the Washington Post isn't the worst thing that has happened to the meme maker. In a series of tweets from July the 15th, 2019, Carpe Donktum stated that BuzzFeed was threatening to dox him. BuzzFeed had reportedly run a background check on him and found his private Facebook profile. He mentioned that other mainstream outlets had honored his decision of remaining anonymous. He added that while he'd emerged as a sort of public figure, his family were very much private citizens. Releasing his information would therefore put them in what he described as very real danger. Before we move on, answer this question. Which political commentator protested a Twitter ban by handcuffing themselves to the company's New York City headquarters? A. Milo Yiannopoulos. B. Laura Loomer. C. Paul Joseph Watson. D. Alex Jones. Let us know what you think in the comments section below and stay tuned to find out the right answer. Number 5. Andy Ngo. Conservative writer Andy Ngo has also had his share of confrontations with the far left. While live streaming an anti-feminist rally in November 2018, he was sprayed with silly string in downtown Portland by people he believed were Antifa protesters. In May of the following year, Ngo was pepper sprayed by an Antifa protester during the militants' clashes with a far-right group called Patriot Prayer. The most shocking incident occurred in June 2019 when Ngo was kicked in the body and punched in the head repeatedly by unidentified assailants who looked like Antifa protesters. In the video, which has over 500,000 views on YouTube, the protesters threw eggs, milkshakes, cans at Ngo and sprayed him with silly string. Others were cheering on the attack as it unfolded. In the aftermath of the attack, Ngo was reportedly taken to the hospital with cerebral hemorrhaging. Number 4. Mini AOC. An 8-year-old child actress named Ava Martinez recently became viral for impersonating Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez as Mini AOC. Her father started posting the spoof videos, which showed the child matching the politician's appearance and parodying her speech patterns. The child's family subsequently stopped posting the videos because of repeated death threats and harassment from the left. They deleted all Mini AOC accounts for fear of their safety after they started receiving calls on their personal phone numbers. Number 3. Ashley St. Clair. In July 2019, protesters outside a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement facility in Aurora, Colorado, took down the American flag from its pole and replaced it with the Mexican flag. Donald Trump supporter Ashley St. Clair confronted a small group of leftist supporters who were defending the protesters' actions. St. Clair claims she did so in order to show support for U.S. troops and law enforcement. She also criticized Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez for what she described as promoting disrespectful behavior. One of the protesters, a young woman who St. Clair had approached, started screaming, threatening and insulting her. She then proceeded to climb and dance around a traffic sign, all the while continuing to insult Sinclair. Another supporter repeatedly said, "F the troops." The clip subsequently went viral, with over 1 million views. Many have argued that it's this type of behavior from leftist supporters which has earned them a negative image overall. Number 2. Steven Crowder. Conservative commentator Steven Crowder had his channel demonetized by YouTube in response to his feud with Carlos Maza, who produces and hosts the series Strike Through on Vox. The latter said he was cyberbullied by Crowder, who'd called him supposed racist and homophobic slurs over the course of multiple years. He added that Crowder supporters had doxed and harassed him. During his podcast, Louder with Crowder, the commentator had referred to Maza as a gay Latino, angry little queer, and Mr. Lispy Queer, but defended the words as being part of what's essentially a comedy show. There were supporters who spoke out in favor of both men, and YouTube investigated the matter. Even though YouTube initially claimed the videos didn't violate the company's policy, they ultimately gave in to left-wing pressure. The company demonetized Crowder's channel until he addressed all facets of the matter. This was done despite the fact that YouTube had reviewed the disputed content and, although the company described it as hurtful, found that Crowder had merely expressed an opinion and wasn't asking his supporters to harass Maza. So, who protested a Twitter ban by handcuffing themselves to the company's headquarters? The right answer is B. Laura Loomer. Equipped with a bullhorn and wearing a Jewish yellow star, the activist protested Twitter's decision of permanently banning her. The ban came after she was accused of hate speech against Representative Ilhan Omar, whom she accused of being pro-Sharia. Number 1. Nicholas Sandmann. The incident at the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. serves as a prime example for the necessity of proper context when it comes to the way information is transmitted and received. On January 18, 2019, a group of students from the all-male Covington Catholic High School in Park Hills, Kentucky, were participating in the annual March for Life near the monument. At the same time, several Native American marchers were attending the Indigenous Peoples March. The key moment in the short viral videos, which sparked outrage online, was of Covington student Nicholas Sandmann standing in front of Native American activist Nathan Phillips. The latter was banging a drum and chanting inches away from Sandmann as he stood his ground and smiled. This gesture in the face-off was described by the liberal media as a relentless smirk. Sandmann was wearing a MAGA hat, as were others in his group, which appeared to be encircling Phillips as he banged his drum. The key word here is appeared. The liberal media was quick to condemn Sandmann and the Covington teenagers, as were a number of celebrities. Kathy Griffin tweeted, "I want names," and called out for the boys to be doxxed. SNL writer Sarah Beatty and scholar Reza Aslan also put out tweets that suggested punching Sandmann. The teens, others in his group, and the school started receiving death threats. A few days later, a longer video was put out which gave vital context to the story. At the march, there were also 5 members of a hate group called the Black Hebrew Israelites. They were screaming racial and homophobic slurs at both the Native American marchers and the Covington group. At one point, the teenagers asked permission from their supervisors to perform a rally chant to drown out the barrage of slurs from the street preachers. It involved a MAORI HAKA, and the student leading the chant took his shirt off. Phillips then approached a group of teenagers while banging his drum. He would later give conflicting versions to the media of what had happened. Phillips claimed he was trying to get up the stairs and that he was blocked by the Covington group, but he can be seen going directly towards them. Phillips also makes no effort to go around Sandmann, who simply didn't move from where he'd been sitting. Phillips then said he was trying to defuse tensions between the boys, who he describes as angry white men, and the street preachers, who he describes as their potential prey. However, as soon as Sandmann walks away from him, Phillips can be seen celebrating his supposed victory alongside fellow marchers. He said the teens were chanting, "Build that wall," but there's no evidence of this. Phillips also at one point claimed to have been a Vietnam War veteran, which turned out to be false. Sandmann said that he smiled as to show, "I was not going to become angry, intimidated, or be provoked into a larger confrontation." In the video, he can also be seen signaling one of the boys in his group to be respectful and not to talk over Phillips's chanting. As more information about the incident emerged, the reaction of outlets such as The Washington Post and CNN was criticized for mostly being based on social media outrage instead of a proper investigation. Sandmann's family filed a lawsuit against these outlets, each in excess of $250 million. Thanks for watching. When it comes to the way you consume media, would you rather only be shown information correspondent to your ideology, or know the full story even if it might go against your belief system? Let us know what you think in the comments section below.